What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Mike from NYC, and we back with another reaction. Today, we are reacting to the GOAT of every position in the NFL. This is going to be an interesting one. I feel like there's some no-brainers. You know, I know this came out last year, but there's going to be some no-brainers. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to go off the top and say Deion. If you want to do defensive back or corner, Deion, no-brainer. Now, if we're going corner safety, that's different. Because corner, if we're going defensive backs, it's Deion. But if we're going corner and then safety, okay, defensive back, then you got a lot of options at safety. You feel me? You got Ed Reed. Talk about it. Sean Taylor. Polamalu. Ain't no way I'm not going to mention Polamalu. That's my nigga. Feel me? Niggas already know the vibe with Polamalu. Hold on. Because I don't think niggas really understand, like, what was really going on. Like, you feel me? Polamalu was that. You feel me? He was him. Fuck is you talking about? Feel me? Oh, shit. But yeah, Polamalu was that dude. Who else you got? Ronnie Lott. You gotta mention Ronnie Lott, one of the hardest hitting safeties of all time. You feel me? QB, Tom Brady, obviously. There's going to be some Joe Montana talks, maybe even Steve Young. Dan Marino, talent-wise, Aaron Rodgers, talent-wise, but you take the talent and the accolades and you, boop, it's Tom Brady for sure. Running back, you got a lot of, but I ain't even going to do all of that. You feel me? Let's just get into the vid.
It's what fuels every barbershop and bar debate. Who's the best ever? It's impossible to name just one person the greatest NFL player in history. There's just too many positions and responsibilities to compare a guy that catches the ball to a defender that sacks the quarterback. Without further ado, here's the greatest player ever at every position in football. Quarterback. This was a huge debate until about 3 years ago. Tom Brady has put himself head and shoulders above everybody else, becoming the oldest Super Bowl MVP at 39 years old. Then, he broke his own record, winning another Super Bowl at 41. Brady is the only person to ever become both the youngest Super Bowl MVP and the oldest Super Bowl MVP. Counted out and overlooked, Brady's 6th round selection has fueled his insane work ethic. Brady has more playoff wins than 27 NFL teams.
Damn.
No moment cemented the legend of Tom Brady like Super Bowl 51. Atlanta Falcons fans, let me do you a favor. Go ahead and fast forward about 15 seconds. In the third quarter, the Falcons went up 28-3, firmly in the driver's seat of their first Super Bowl championship. But then, Brady captained the greatest comeback in the history of sports, playing nearly perfect to force overtime and then win the game. While Montana is the original GOAT, Brady has passed him in nearly every category. Peyton Manning, Brady's career nemesis.
Peyton Manning gotta get a mention. Peyton Manning, I feel like Dan Marino. If you're gonna just mention names that have to be thrown in, you feel me? If it ain't like a situation where like, all right, who's the GOAT? Brady, whatever. It's like, all right, Brady, but Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, Marino, Peyton, you feel me? Some old heads might even throw Joe Namath in there. Off the respect alone, like, I don't really know, but Joe Namath, just off the respect of the game type shit.
Only other peer, but Manning's lack of postseason success keeps him from unseating Brady. Running back. The best running back of all time can't be found at the top of the all-time rushing leaders list. Sorry, Emmett. He's also not the longest tenured starting running back. So no, not Walter Payton. The GOAT of running backs played only 10 seasons, but dominated the game like no other. Number 20 in Lions blue and silver, Barry Sanders, is the greatest back to ever live. In just a decade, Sanders shook his way to 15,000 yards and 99 touchdowns.
Get off me.
Meaning, Sanders averaged 100 yards a game in his career, 20 yards more than any other player.
Wow.
If Sanders didn't retire early, there isn't any doubt he'd hold every imaginable rushing record. Sanders made defenders look silly, bouncing in and out of tackles, cutting on a dime, and stopping and going on a whim. He was the complete package. This is one of the tighter races, but Barry Sanders' wow factor and pure dominance every Sunday puts him above Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith. Fullback.
Yeah, I would say Barry Sanders is definitely the best. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy how much he was able to accomplish without a real O-line, without a great quarterback. Like, they knew, like, Barry getting the rock. They knew Barry was getting the rock, and he still did what he did. Emmett, great O-line, great quarterback, great system. You know what I mean? Like, everything, you know, in place. You feel me? But it was just crazy to see what Barry Sanders was really able to do. That's why you can't go off the numbers. You just go off the numbers. Well, Emmett, absolutely not. Barry Sanders was fucking crazy, bro.
In the 50s and 60s, most offenses employed at least 2 players in the backfield. The deepest player was referred to as a halfback, and the upback was referred to as a fullback. While there have been numerous traditional blocking machines that have come from that position, only one was a certified thoroughbred with the ball in his hands, and that is the Cleveland Browns legend, Jim Brown. Not only is Brown the greatest fullback ever, he's arguably the greatest football player to ever live. Brown simply couldn't be brought down. He was too fast, too strong, too agile, and had too much will to be stopped. He retired the all-time rushing leader and
I thought Jim Brown was a halfback, though. I didn't know he was a fullback.
the only player to ever score 100 rushing touchdowns, something only 8 others have done since. The league season was only 12 games long, adding to Brown's unprecedented achievements. Brown retired, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. This is more than any other player in history, and the only other 5 yards per carry player in history was Barry Sanders. A few honorable mentions are Bronco Nagurski and Earl Campbell. Campbell was the Mack truck for the Houston Oilers, plowing over defenders. Nagurski the fullback for the legendary 1930s Bears, but others just pale in comparison to the talent and impact Brown had on the game. Wide receiver. Some of our goats are controversial. This is not one of those.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, Jerry Rice got the accolades. He got the championships. But when you want to just talk who was better, I don't know if there was anybody better, more dominant at catching the football than Randy Moss. Bro, Randy Moss was crazy, bro. Like I think Jerry Rice was such a technician. Like, to me, when I think about it, like, Jerry Rice was like a Kobe. Like, he did everything right. Like, he ran the 5 and in. Like, his 5 and in was crispy. Like, his 5 and out was crazy. The way he ran the little short and then he took it deep. Like, Kobe with the footwork and the work ethic and the little things and the details. That's what I see with Jerry Rice. But Randy Moss was just, to me, like a Shaq. It was just like, bruh, he's crazy. Like, he's the most skilled, most dominant wide receiver I ever seen. Like, the most unstoppable. Like, that's how I see it. So, I mean, you know, because Jerry Rice has the accolades and things like that, and, you know, he was a better teammate, right? He did the little stuff, you know what I mean? Like, he, you know, he didn't cause any turmoil. He wasn't that type of dude. Randy Moss was just like, he was himself, you feel me? But just skill for skill, I think is something that needs to be talked about.
Who would have thought that Mississippi Valley State was the home of the best ever, Jerry Rice. Drafted by the 49ers in 1985, Rice was overlooked because he lacked speed and size, and San Francisco was laughed at for taking him so highly in the draft. Immediately, Rice's route running and soft hands made him unstoppable. Rice got better and more clutch as games wore on, a testament to his fanatical passion for fitness. A 20-year playing career is unheard of in the NFL, but Rice did everything right, on and off the field, to help push himself past others. Rice owns 3 unbreakable NFL records: 207 touchdowns, 1,549 catches, and 22,895 receiving yards. What's even scarier is nobody is even close. Even with the offensive onslaught we're seeing in the NFL today, Rice is the greatest skill player to ever live. While Randy Moss was far more athletic and must-see TV every time he touched the gridiron, numbers don't lie. And for that reason, it's hard to imagine any receiver ever unseating Jerry Rice.
I respect him saying that. It's just different when it's like, when you only got 2 quarterbacks, when you within the same organization, you running that West Coast for the better part of 20 years, where Randy Moss had the team. You saw what he did with Tom Brady. You saw what they was doing. You know, when he had Cunningham, you know, but you switching team to team, you can't really, it's not going to be the same. You feel me? So, but I get what he's saying.
Tight end. Some of the OG tight ends that transformed the position from a sixth blocker into a dynamic offensive weapon are definitely worth mentioning. Shannon Sharpe was the best receiving threat on the powerhouse Broncos in the 90s, and incredible off of play action. Tony Gonzalez is near the top of all receiving records, regardless of position, posting insane numbers no matter who the quarterback was. But the greatest tight end of all time could block just as well as he could run down the seam and leap over defenders for the catch. That player is longtime Patriot Rob Gronkowski. Gronk is the most complete tight end ever. At 6'6", 250 pounds, he had unreal speed and leaping ability. He engineered the Patriots' running game and was option number 1 for fellow greatest of all time, Tom Brady. He easily made contested touchdown catches, but could also catch a 6-yard crosser and take it the distance. Gronk is far and away the single-season tight end touchdown leader with 17, and the Gronk spike is a celebration that will live on forever in NFL lore. Offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say about that is just like when you get to play with the same, like Magic and Kareem got to play together for the most, like for the second half of Kareem's career and all of Magic's career pretty much. They got to play together. But when you got somebody like Shaq, who you go from Orlando, you do a couple years, then you go to Lakers, you do a couple years, you go to the, Heat, and then you're just like, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. You feel me? O-line, I'm not really tripping on the O-line just because I don't really know what's up. You feel me? No disrespect. Anthony Munoz, I heard a lot about him. Mean Joe. Respect. Pittsburgh. I jack Pittsburgh. You feel me? So that's automatically respect off the top. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about one of the best defenders of all time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta mention Mean Joe. You know what I'm saying? He the reason Pittsburgh respected the way that they are. Respect. Oh, wait a minute. We skipping. Why is this whole thing labeled Anthony Munoz? Okay, wait a minute. Where we at? Mean Joe. Let's pick up at the end of Mean Joe.
Joe Green, edge rusher. Fun fact, the greatest edge player was an alter ego. Just ask Lawrence Taylor, the Giants' Hall of Fame pass rusher. Taylor convinced himself that LT came out of him on the gridiron. And who are we to disagree? LT was a freak that offenses had to game plan for each week, and they would often decide to avoid running any play to his side of the field. His 140 sacks don't even paint the picture. LT was a wild boar that ravaged terrified offenses.
He blew that whole thing up.
And an MVP award in the process. LT single-handedly changed the face of defensive football, moving to more hybrid rushers that stood up as opposed to put their hands in the ground. This gave LT the flexibility to attack anyone from anywhere and made him impossible to prepare for. Some other legendary edge rushers to acknowledge are Deacon Jones,
Too Tall Jones, Reggie White.
Historians consider Jones the unofficial all-time sack leader, while legendary Packer Reggie White was adored the minister of pain, and anyone who played against him could attest to that. However, neither of these guys.
Ooh, good hands, and we out.
Like good old LT. Linebacker. When you think of the word linebacker, that purple and black 52 stains the picture in your head. Ray Lewis was the heart and soul of the Ravens, bringing the intensity that gravitates us to the game of football. A lot of great backers have a nose for the ball. Ray Lewis had a personal connection to it. Ray Lewis's 2,000 plus tackles is the most ever. He punished ball carriers for deciding to face him. Ray just got better and better every season. Early in his career, he captained one of the greatest defenses ever. He was an ultimate testimony of football intelligence and passion joining together. Lewis united 11 men to play with one heartbeat. Speed, size, instincts, intensity, and leadership all rolled into one player. He wasn't just rare. Ray Lewis is a one of one.
One of one for
sure.
sure.
Linebackers without mentioning Dick Butkus,
Facts.
the hard-hitting force in the middle of the field for the Bears.
Or
Jack
right?
Lambert and his impact with the steel curtain. These guys laid out the foundation for backers for years to come, and Ray Lewis embodied everything these guys had and more. Cornerback. Deion Sanders.
It's not even a top. This is not even the topic. We shouldn't even be talking about this. You should have just said Deion and that's it.
Is your favorite?
But you do want to give respect. Let people know who don't know what's really good. But Deion is no question.
His favorite player. Flashy, gaudy, cocky, and always in the limelight. All the qualities that made him great and earned him the nickname Primetime. Sanders would have probably been the GOAT at any position.
Wait, let me get that real quick.
Play. I mean, the guy ran a hand time.
Wait, let me get that real quick.
In the combine.
Let me get that rock from you real quick.
Left right after. He was selected first team All-Pro for 9 consecutive seasons. His longevity is regularly overlooked. He played for 5 different teams over 17
he's wildin'.
And won 2 Super Bowls. Sanders is one of 2 players to score a touchdown 6 different ways. Deion's versatility and pure brass shutdown ability is what made him
6 different ways? What? How many? What do you can pick 6, scoop and score, kick return, punt return, throw. I don't know the 6th way.
Beloved throughout his career. He talked the talk and walked the walk. You can't talk about great corners, though, without also mentioning Darrelle Revis and Rod Woodson. Revis became such a lockdown man corner that he had a deserted island affectionately named after him. On the other side of the spectrum, Rod Woodson was the best playmaking corner ever. He could shut you down in man coverage, bait and intercept the QB in zone coverages, and was an absolutely vicious tackler. But Deion transcended the cornerback position and showed young athletes that intercepting touchdowns was just as cool as scoring them. And for that, Prime is without question the greatest cornerback of all time. Safety. You break the huddle and it's different.
Ed Reed nasty, bruh. I thought he would have went a little bit more like safe, like a Sean T or Ronnie Lott. He went Ed Reed.
You don't scan like normal. You're looking for number 20. This was Tom Brady when he asked about prepping for the Ravens. Ed Reed impacted the game more than any player ever. If a great corner was on the field, you could decide to go opposite of him. Not with Reed. He could start in the center of the field and then make a play on the ball outside of the hashes. It wasn't just that he was so physically gifted. It was his mind that truly set him apart from the rest. He often knew what was going to happen before it happened, baiting quarterbacks and making them pay for throwing the ball anywhere near him.
Damn,
he not only
good
picked
hands.
off balls, he scored them, posting the 2 longest interception touchdowns in history, while also being the all-time leader in career interception yards. Reed combined pure athleticism and ball-hawking abilities the game may never see again. Ronnie Lott had game rules changed because of the way he played, a violent and passionate safety whose love for the game ran so deep that he had his pinky amputated so he could return to a game. Similarly, Troy Polamalu was the most feared safety in football at one point. He played the game with silent intensity. And if you watched the Steelers play in the 2000s, you better believe you would see 43 and his flowing hair flying around the field.
Bruh, shout out to Polamalu, bro. That's the real reason, like, the hair, that I really had hair as long as I did, bruh. You feel me? I was like, nah, it might be a little girly, whatever. I was like, nah, bro, Polamalu, bro. Feel me? I was like, nah, yeah, the hair valid now, like, you feel me?
Plays. However, Ed Reed was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers.
That's a fact, though. Ed Reed is different.
In a league of his own. So, there you have it.
I'm surprised he didn't mention Sean Taylor, though. I'm surprised, just when you talk about just talent, I don't know, Sean Taylor is up there. I mean, obviously, RIP, you know, he didn't really get to play his full career and things of that nature, but usually when you talk about safeties, Ed Reed or Sean Taylor is usually somebody that, you know, gets a mention. Just because of how good he was when he actually played, you know, the fear he instilled and all of that. But Ed Reed, yeah, man, I didn't expect him to say Ed Reed. I was expecting him to say, you know, but definitely a good video. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you like these type of videos. And I will see you when I see you. Peace.